So it's time for the demo, guys. Right now, I want to introduce it with a bit of context, okay? So the point at Kermi, it's really to onboard users. So this is Kermi platform. You might know it. And what I want to do with it is to provision um, a user, let's say, on CUCM. Okay. Let's say there is a user called Carmela, and she's just, well, be onboarded. And the manager say, okay, yeah, you have this platform. It's called ServiceNow, and you put every request you need through ServiceNow. You need a laptop, you ask ServiceNow. You need a desk phone, you ask ServiceNow. And you need an account for this desk phone, yeah, same. So first, let's check if we have a camera in our user right now. Maybe the IT already creator. No Carmela. Eh? Carla, Kali, Carol, no Carmela. Okay. So this is ServiceNow. And well, Carmela will connect to this platform. And she have access to No Assist. So No Assist, that the LLM agent that ServiceNow is providing if you have the license, of course. So you need to have access to this to be able to contact the AI agent you want. So Carmela should put a request there. But I want it a bit more deeper. So we will go to another interface, which is the testing interface, because when we go through this interface, that's the very same, except you have more detail of what is happening. So we have created a workflow, an agentic workflow, that's the name. And this agentic workflow, we want to test it. It's called onboard collaboration user, because that's what we want. So we will test it here. And Carmela will just say, hey, I need a phone number. Because she's not very technical. So yeah, phone number, good enough. So this will be the product that will be available through the No Assist. That's the AI agent we will try to build. And I will show you all the steps to build it right after I demo what it should look to. Okay, so first we have an analysis of Carmela ServiceNow user. So there is a lot of information on Carmela. And then there is something very interesting. You have different agents available during this workflow. The orchestrator is the orchestrator of the workflow. That's a workflow, basically. So first, you have the analysis agent. So the agent try to know who is Carmela and try to know if Carmela exists in flow. This is flow. Obviously, you see no Carmela here, and that's exactly what happened. So you add this agent that's called flow by Kermi to know if it's already provisioned to any platform, really. So right now, Carmela Wishman is not yet provisioned. Do you want to proceed? Oh, yes, please. That will take me to the next step. Okay, but where do you want to be? Where do you want your phone, basically? So to know where do you want your phone, that could be a UC collaboration tool too. So yeah, we have the second part, which is the onboarding agent by Kermi, and it asking what site are available. Of course, yeah, maybe Carmela is not too kind of what is a site. So yeah, Japan, France. Okay, yeah. She's from Tokyo. Let's put Tokyo here. So what's interesting, that's even if I don't answer exactly what question the agent is asking me, just like everything, I can still get a good answer after. So it asked me, yeah, put an available site, could be France, could be Japan, could be EMEA. Okay, I say Tokyo, and it find Tokyo in Kermi. So I know there is a site in Kermi called Tokyo. Okay, I want to provision my phone there. So I choose one. Okay, next step. So here, a new request to Kermi, which is get the collaboration profiles. Okay, so maybe Carmela is don't know what is a profile, a collaboration profile. So let's just ask her if she want a PSTN call. Yes, the point of the phone number is to get the ID. We know that as a technician and engineer in UC. Maybe she did not. Okay, so this one could have been more, yeah, maybe more simple for Camilla, but here we will ask what kind of technology she want. Well, let's go with the UCM. So we want to provision her in Cisco. Of course, we could have asked during the configuration of the agent to simplify those names. Okay, so it proposed me to get one number from Japan, but no, Carmela want a number with 0 as the last digit. More easy to remember. Maybe there is one, maybe there is no, but the agent will ask Flow by Kermi if there is a number available with 0 as the last digit. And there is quite a few. Wow, there is even a 00. Let's take that. I feel like a VIP.
And you are.
Thank you. So we have all the information we need. We know the site, we know the technology, and we know the kind of number she wants. Okay, do I want to proceed? Yes, please. So what's happened when I say I want to proceed? Well, a few things. ServiceNow is an ITSM, so that's a ticketing service. Basically, you open a ticket and you close the ticket. Well, right here, it will create a service request. That's the ticket. So in ServiceNow, there is a service request, and of, of course, it will be closed instantly because that's self-service. And at the same time, it will provision Carmela soon. But of course, well, That's the demo effect. Sorry about that. But basically, this is where it's supposed to push Carmela into flow. So let's take a step back, if you will. What did we learn? We learned that to be able to build that kind of AI agent, we need, well, in this particular case, Flow, so that's the automation server. To connect to Flow, we need the Flow integration app. And on ServiceNow part, we need, if we want this AI interface, because that's what it is at the end, that's just an interface, we need the No Assist panel. So that's a license for ServiceNow. Now let's review the building block to actually get to this result. You have the chat interface, so that's what you unlock with No Assist. And this chat interface will call onboard collaboration workflow. So that's your agentic workflow. And the agentic workflow, you could see that as a box maybe. And this box, you have building blocks, and those building blocks, those are the agent. So inside my onboard collaboration user workflow, I have two agents, which are user analysis agent and onboarding agent. We will see just after what those agents do. But there is something we already saw. That's definitely we have to log tickets and open tickets in ServiceNow at some point. Okay, let's get back to here. So I'm inside what we call the AI Agent Studio inside of ServiceNow. And you have a tab over there that's called Create and Manage. So that's to create and manage your AI agent. And just like I said, you have two blocks here. You have the box, which is the agentic workflow, and you have the AI agent. Of course, you could put as many AI agents into your agentic workflow, and the one we just used, that would have been, yeah, onboard collaboration user. So what do we have here? We have the workflow, the name, an actual description. We have a group, so a team, and we have base plan. Okay, let's open it up. So this is the main thing. Uh, let's think like that. It's a box. So you in your box, you're putting your blocks, your building blocks. Well, if you're thinking about Lego, for example, usually you have a user guide on how to assemble the blocks. Well, this user guide, that would be the list of steps. Okay. So first, you're analyzing the user. Second, you onboard the user. Well, that's a very simple Lego. You only have two building blocks, so that's pretty simple. Okay, usually too, you have a description on the box to say what's inside the box. So that's the workflow description. This is very important because in LLM, those descriptions are used. So when we have no assist over there, it's a generic AI, and it called other AI. Well, it called other AI based on the request. But to know which AI workflow to call, you need to read the description. So you have the need to create a description that will match whatever request will be put here inside of No Assist. Let's get back to the list of steps. Basically, you're describing which AI you will use, AI agent. And look at that. You actually have a description for each AI agent. And this description is kind of close of the steps described. So this is why you need to have a good description matching with the steps you just created. Okay, so we have our box, we have our building blocks, we have our user guide, but now we need to set up who have access to the actual box. Not everyone, of course, can have access to the actual box. So we need to set up an access right to it. Okay, so I created here, that's a big lie, and I did not create that. That's Vincent Letiec who created that. But he created uh, an access right to have access to this, well, AI workflow. Okay, so this is for the end user to have access to the AI workflow. But what about the right of the AI agent to have access to other data? Well, you could do it in two different ways. The first way we did that, it said use the right of the user calling you. So if I'm using Carmela, well, the agent will have the same right as Carmela. But I could have set up a specific kind of user, which is a AI user. You just create AI user in your users in ServiceNow, and the agent will have the same right all over the process, just AI agent. And finally, you have from where the box is available, and we want to have the box available from no assist panel. Okay, so that was the box over there. So now, if I save and test, I will be able to call my agent from the general purpose AI that is no assist. Already did a small demonstration. So we will go back and get a bit deeper because right now we have the workflow, that's really nice. But what the actual agent, that's the core of what we need here. So let's see this one. So I opened my block that's creating what it does, what this piece does. That's exactly what we are doing right now. So first I need this description. That's the same as earlier in the workflow. This is why the workflow called it, because one, it had access to it. And secondly, the description matching the steps, so the user guide. Turn out we already also have a user guide inside of the AI agent, and quite a long one at that. Okay, so every single steps we saw earlier with the graph, the schema, and everything that came from here. If I arranged that differently, of course, that would give a different result with my interaction, with Carmela interaction with this agent. For example, one of the rules is, okay, I don't want to give too much to the user, too much information. So we might have a lot of sites everywhere in the world. Well, quite a bit actually. But we don't want to send all that information all at once. So what we do, we say, you just send the 21st. Okay, that's it. And then instead of giving the name of the package, which is the profile in Kermi, we just say, hey, do you want PSTN calls? So that's the kind of thing we will put inside this user guide that's describing the interaction of the agent with the user, but not that's not it, because that's not all. It's also describing the usage of the tool. This is where, in the user description, in the user guide, this is where you say, okay, you will call to get the collaboration profile. So this is an API call. This is a tool. So those are the tools that are accessible from the agent. So the agent is able to get the collaboration profile from Flow, to find the users, to get the collaboration site, to get the collaboration number. So that's all the simple one request tool we have. Okay, we call it flow action. So yeah, I know it's flow 2. That's not flow, that's just a flow. And then we need to have access to the record. So that's the ticketing. At the end of it, we open the ticket and we close it. So we need to have this tool so the agent can open the ticket and close it. And that's exactly what we get here. Get a service request, create a service request. Okay. That's nice and all, but there is a very important part missing until now, which is the actual creation of the collaboration user. And this is a big one. And for the big complex action that request multiple things, multiple information, multiple requests to the API, you need a subflow. Okay? So the subflow here is called create a collaboration user. And all of those flow action, they are just simple action. So really, our agent here is just calling those actions, but those actions were already existing. And it's exist, well, somewhere else, which is the CureMe integration app for ServiceNow. So you prepare the use case. Well, that could be somewhere else too, but you prepare your use case, and all use cases are just inside the CureMe integration app. Usually, the CureMe integration app is called from catalog in ServiceNow. Same result, but with a form instead of a nice AI agent. And every single configuration, every single use cases existing in ServiceNow could be called by an AI agent. Is that what we just did? The last thing, well, at some point, my agent called ServiceNow to get information on Carmela, to make sure Carmela was existing in ServiceNow, and to make sure that, well, she have all the access right required. And this is the data access. That's the knowledge graph here. Okay, so I'm still inside my AI agent. And this is the last part, which is the knowledge graph. This is where I say, okay, this agent is allowed to go and check inside ServiceNow user to get those information. And that's pretty much it. Of course, just like the workflow, you need to set up access right and data access right for the AI agent to have access to other stuff. That means that with this specific configuration, Carmela needed the access right on ServiceNow user to actually get the request completed. So that would be better if you need something for self-service to have a actual AI user with actual correct access rights. That would be much better. That would be a good practice actually. And then same, do you want to have access to the virtual agent to service no to no assist? Yeah. So that's the same kind of thing we saw earlier. And that's pretty much it. So this is all the building blocks and how to organize them to create a working a workflow for agentic AI in ServiceNow.